What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? It's been a minute. It's your girl Knowledge by Nikki with 1K. And I am here to talk to you all about, it's amazing how I am set up to talk to you all about certain things. And it happens to be the thing that I've been talking to everybody about. I've been having really in-depth conversations with people concerning buying their businesses. Meaning if they own salons, if they own barbershops, if they own restaurant, gyms, they want to own the building. And the one thing that I tell them is that that's great. It's a great aspiration, but you got to know that owning your building comes with some responsibility. And it also comes with repositioning probably the way your finances are set up and a host of other things. So I've dedicated this video to giving you a little tidbit on what you have to understand if you want to buy the actual building that your business is in, or if you want to lease it. So I'm gonna give you a few little tidbits. Let me talk about buying your space, buying your salon, buying your barbershop, buying your restaurant, actually owning the building. There are definitely pros and cons to owning. One of the pros of buying is you build equity. That means that the property that you're in will actually bring you money or bring you revenue that you can either sell it, take a loan out on, etc., etc. If you think in terms of what would happen if you leased, you go into a place that you don't own, you put $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 into it, and when you decide you don't want to be there anymore, you got to walk away, right? And all of that is left for the person that owns. So you've actually made their place an asset for them. So that's the first pros of buying. The next one is it's an appreciating asset. That means not only is it an asset in the beginning, but let's say the area gets regentrified, something happens, the market changes, your property could literally go from being worth $100,000 to being worth $300,000 or $400,000, depending on what happens to the area. So you always are in a good position in the event that your area becomes more worth more. Then rental income. A lot of leases or places that are leased do not allow you to sublease. So when you own the building, let's say you say, you know what, I don't want to pay for this by myself. I want to go ahead and carve out a little bit of space and rent it to a whole nother business and literally have your business paid for, taxes, the whole 9 yards. So it gives you a little more leveraging power to be able to rent out parts or even all of your space if you chose to. Tax breaks. Whenever you have a commercial piece of property, there's going to be an enormous amount of tax breaks that you can actually utilize to save you a couple dollars, and really more than a couple, to save you thousands of dollars that you cannot do if you lease a piece of property. There's a percentage formula that you can actually write off, literally everything in this particular property. So you're going to find yourself, even if your assets have you in a higher tax bracket, you're going to get more write-off. So you have to log on to the video and get the video for us to break that down for you. And then control. I know at least 5 people, 3 of them that I personally coached, that were put out of their salons because the owner decided that he either wanted to sell the building, he wanted to rent it out to someone else, or he made sure that he went up on their rent so high that they couldn't stay anyway. This is something that you do not control when you're leasing. When you get that mortgage on the piece of property that you're buying to do your business in, that is what it is. And it will stay that way until you decide to sell it, walk away from it, or whatever it is that you try to do. So the amount of control that you have on your business expenses not changing, or you not possibly getting put out of the business. You also don't have to worry about eminent domain. That means when, say, the city has sold this whole parcel of property to a developer and your building is sitting smack dab in the middle of it, you cannot be forced to move. They have to buy you out. So you still are in the control, and it's more of an asset to you. So those are some of the pros of buying. Now let me tell you some of the cons of buying, okay? The money you have to come up with up front. We're not talking about no first home buyer, I forgot how they call it, and you get 3% or 5% down. That doesn't exist with commercial property. With commercial property or property that you are buying for business use, and let me pause for a minute by helping you understand that if you purchase a piece of property, it has to be zoned for business use or you risk being shut down. So don't just go buy a piece of property and decide you're going to put your salon or whatever in it, because if you're doing it under the radar and someone tells on you, you're going to risk being shut down. So you need to think about that. Now let's talk about the upfront spending. I want to get back to that, but I wanted to make sure you understood that. Upfront spending on a commercial piece of property, no matter whether you have a property loan, a property investment loan, or a commercial loan, and they are different, you're going to put anywhere from 20 to 40% down. So that means your money's going to be tied up. You still got to buy furniture. You still got to buy equipment. You still got to maybe get the electrical, the plumbing, or whatever taken care of. The money's not there for that. You have to have more money so that you can put money down that's just being held as part of your mortgage documents, or you have to come up with a lot of extra money. So you might have maybe guessed this project to be $20,000, $30,000. Now it's 60, because you got to get that money up in order for you to be able to buy that property. The next con of buying is it is extremely difficult to actually qualify for a commercial or a property loan. They do not look at the same things as they do when it comes to a residential loan. A residential loan, as long as you got some decent credit and your bank statements look the way they need to look and you can prove where you got your down payment from, you pretty much are good. That's not the case with commercial loans. And I'm going to give you what I know is the difference. The difference comes down to the loan is sized during underwriting. That means this is a commercial loan. Commercial loans are sized. What that means is they're looking at the businesses that want this commercial loan and making a decision on whether they think this business is an asset, because it's an asset to the bank as long as they own it. You don't own it yet. They still own it until you pay their mortgage off. So they look at the projected income, they net and gross. They look at the longevity of your business. They look at all of that. When you want to buy a commercial loan for your business, it is totally based off of the performance of your business and the perpetuity of your business. So you got to understand that. Now, when you talk about a residential loan, all they care about is your credit and that you got enough for the down payment. And then let me backtrack. Actually, when it comes to a commercial loan, I'm going to add to that. They do care about your credit, but they don't base the loan off of your credit. But your credit score actually has to be higher. Your personal credit score has to be higher in a commercial loan for them to even look at everything else that you're presenting. It usually has to be about 700 or higher. They have programs now, a couple of them, that will allow you to do a commercial loan where you can buy the building. But I'm telling you, what they're going to ask you to do, they're probably only going to give you a 10-year loan or a 15-year loan. There is no 30 years. They don't do 30 years on a commercial loan. They do 15, maybe 20. So your term is going to be a lot shorter. So this is something you have to just consider. Okay, so qualifying for the loan until you get your business to where it can function off of its own credit history. And that's a whole nother talk about building business credit. You have to actually have your personal credit be at a minimal score or they won't even consider the rest. But all the other things will also play a role in them deciding. You also have prepayment penalties. That means, let's say you get a wad of cash, you're like, I'm going to go and pay this mortgage off. You actually, depending on the loan, in a commercial situation, you will have penalties that you will have to incur because you want to pay this loan off. So think about it. Also, let's talk about liabilities. These are the cons of buying the building. I already told you the pros. The cons of buying your building, when the building you want to do your business in, is also liability. Your liability insurance just went through the roof. Literally. I don't care if they fall in the parking lot, if they trip on the step that gets to the building, you now are responsible for everything and everybody within the space, parking lot, acreage, land, all of that you own. You are 100% liable. So you need to think about that. That means your liability insurance is going to go through the roof. I actually have about $5 million in liability because I want to make sure that everything is covered. Okay, so think about that. There's a lot of liability. Then there's what's called capital loss. I have seen this happen, and it is literally depressing. You put $40,000 down on this property. The area took a hit. Now your property that was once worth $200,000, that you put a 20% down payment on, of $40,000, is now, the market has lowered the area's value to only $100,000. So even if you wanted to sell it, you lost money, and you lost a lot of money. Okay, and that, it could go either way. The market could go up or down. You don't really know. And then the biggest issue, which is kind of the opposite of what I told you with the upfront capital, the loss of liquidity. That means that your money that you put down is basically just gone, guys. I mean, it might take you 10, 15 years to even recoup that back in a profitable state, because you still got to pay bills, you still got overhead, you still have all these things. So it is very, very important to understand that, and I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just positioning both of them so you can understand if you want to buy, which is what I've been getting lately. Everybody's like, I want to buy my building, I want to buy this. I will tell you, I would advise, if you want to buy, first of all, you must be an extremely responsible, resilient. That means, I say resilient because when stuff happens, you mentally got to be able to handle that level of stress that comes. I'm looking at, I got one girl that I coach. She's in my premium coaching program. She just had the hurricane ravage her home. She owns a house in an area that's zoned for commercial, and now her house is totally basically gone. And so her business is shut down and the house is gone. She got to get it rebuilt. But the beautiful thing is she had the right insurance to cover her loss of business, loss of personal property, and the destruction of the business. If you want to learn more about that, you can also tap at the top, knowledgebynikki.com. I have a video, that a live training called Are You Covered? And I talk about all the different insurances you need, whether you're buying or leasing. So this is something that is extremely important in the scheme of things, guys. So I need you to take this seriously. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but they are very different. So I'm going to run through leasing real quick. When you lease, these are the pros of leasing. More liquidity. That means, at best, depending on the property, all you got to come up is 1 month's rent, 1 month's security. That's it. That's all you got to really come up with. So you'll have more liquid. You'll have more money up front to actually dedicate to your business. Because the second one is the focus on your business. Because you don't have to worry about the roof, the gutters, the parking lot, all this other stuff that you have to worry about when you own, you can actually focus all your energy on your business. That is what you want to do. You want to be able to focus on your business. It is also, the next one is, it's also easier to budget for. So you can budget for this. I tell everybody, you want to buy, you're looking at 30,000, 40,000 times 2. You want to own, depending on what you buy or what you lease, or depending on, you want to lease rather, depending on what you lease, you might only need 20K. And that may literally take care of everything you need if you know how to look for what you need to look for. Okay? Tax breaks. You will still get some tax breaks just because you're the owner, but you will not get the tax breaks that a person that actually owns the building gets. Okay? And then more flexibility. That means, let's say, here we are, pandemic season. Let's say you are on a year's lease or a month to month. If you decide this isn't working for me, I'm steady losing money, you can walk away with no strings attached. Not a piece of property sitting that you got to sell, continue to pay taxes on, etc., etc., etc. These are the pros of leasing, but there are also some cons, guys. There's on both sides. The cons of leasing is no equity or appreciation. That means when you decide you want to trick that place out, you want to trick that salon out so bad to where it's magazine worthy, you don't get none of that money back. You know that, right? It's going to be a minute before you actually are able to pay yourself back what it is that you put into the business. My very first salon, I spent 85 grand. That's on everything. It took years, about 7 or 8 years, to even recoup that 85, because that was money I saved. That was not a loan. That was actual liquid that came out of a bank account. Then another, no passive income. Passive income means that you, in most leasing situations, cannot legally sublease your space to anyone. You can't do it. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. So this is something that you really want to think about. You may want, you at a certain point in your life, and I will tell you this, if you buy the video, because I can't make this forever, buy the video, go on Knowledge by Nikki. I'll break all this down. Everything depends on your age, your sense of responsibility, what cycle of life you're in. All of this plays a factor in which one is better for you. And then let's talk about the expense of rent. You can actually buy a piece of property, office condo, freestanding little small building, $75,000, $100,000. If you rent it, that same space, let me tell you the difference in what it's going to cost you to lease it. To buy that space, if you add taxes, even if the taxes are high, I'll give you a real scenario. I'm purchasing a property, it's an office condo, it's $75,000. It's valued at $210,000. The mortgage, now the taxes are high. Taxes are about $20,000 a year. But the mortgage, taxes, assessments, insurance, all of that only comes to $22.82 a month. But guess what? If I rented that same space, guess how much that space would be? It is 3,200 square feet, and it is in the mall, which means automatically now I have the mall price that actually is going to take effect. So if I rented that 3,200 square foot space, it would probably be 3,200 times about $40 per square foot. And that may not consider what we call CAM taxes, common area maintenance. That's for them to keep the lot good and shovel the snow and cut the grass and all that stuff. I could literally be out of as much as $10,000 to $15,000 a month for that same piece of property, based off of where it is. Y'all see what I'm saying? So rent is expensive. Rent costs, okay? And then again, last but not least, you have absolutely no control. No control. That is the thing that you have to think about. If you're going to put, like I wish I had known, if I'm going to put $85,000 in here, I want to be able to cash out when it's over. So you have to be careful how much money you're going to invest in somebody else's property that you may never recoup. If you're leasing, if you're buying, you can get all that money back. You can decide to retire, turn around, sell it, rent it, do whatever, but you're going to have a load of responsibility. Everything is on you, okay? So if you want to know more about this subject, you can go into the heading of this video, tap knowledgebynikki.com, go into trainings and books. I have an hour and a half or hour and 45-minute video live training that will teach you everything you need to know about buying versus leasing, okay? And so that's something, I'm going to be sharing these tidbits of information with you all quite often. It'll be at random times. It won't be at a certain time. I realize that we are in a place or in a time right now where people are really, they're trying to reposition themselves. They're trying to figure out, okay, what I'm doing, the pandemic got me kind of screwed up. It's not working. I don't really know what to do here. So they are trying to find ways to leverage what they have, maybe take on new things. Everybody's trying to find a way to make their lives better future-wise. Because right now, some people are doing great. Some other people are doing not so great. I'm riding actually towards past the mall, but I'm going towards another mall. So I'll pass two malls in the route I'm going now. And I'm looking at how many stores are just gone. And I'm talking about stores that you would not expect to be gone. And I'm not just talking about people that were already going out. I'm talking about restaurants. I'm talking about little small mom and pop shops. They're just gone. So it's real, guys. It is real. And you have to figure out what it is that you need to do, especially in this time. So log on again at knowledgebynikki.com. Make sure you set your notifications for me. I'll be on just randomly. I'm going to be on just really trying to help people understand their options. Okay, it's not about me making a decision for you. It's not about what's better or worse. It depends on where you are in your life and what works for you at that stage and what load you already have on your plate. So share this video. This is knowledgebynikki.com, and I will see you all tomorrow.